If the Chargers beat Houston Saturday afternoon and then beat Denver the last game of the year, they win the division. That's right. Because they got tiebreaker. Yeah. They beat the Broncos twice. So if LA wins 2 games in a row, they could be the one, depends what the Patriots do, they could be the 1 seed.
So yesterday, Derwin James was asked by a reporter his thoughts on nobody really talking about the Chargers, and his response essentially was that he didn't care. The Chargers know who they are and what they're capable of doing, and that really kind of made me want to make a video on it, because it's actually the truth here is the Chargers, they've flown under the radar this season. Everyone's talked about the Bills, Patriots, and the Broncos, and they just haven't mentioned the fact that, well, the Chargers are right up there in that same tier, if not an even higher tier. The Chargers have beaten the Broncos. They've got an elite defense. They've got, in my biased opinion, the best quarterback of the bunch. Yes, even over Josh Allen. Now, Herbert hasn't proved it in the playoffs, but how old is Justin Herbert? He's in his mid-20s. He's played in 2 playoff games. We know that he's eventually going to be able to get this team to where it needs to go. And I'm excited, man. I absolutely am, especially given that the 1 seed's on the line here. And Herbert has to prove himself, but we know who he is. Like, this is a guy who every single week when he's on the field has given this football team a chance to win, and he's done it with the worst offensive line. He hasn't had time to get the ball down the field, and when he does, like against the Cowboys, we kind of saw what he's capable of. This game was very reminiscent of week 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs, where Justin Herbert just looked like an absolute man possessed, pushing the football down the field to Quentin Johnson, to Keenan Allen, to his young studs, and Trey Harris, of course, and Keandre Lambert-Smith, and Aronze Gadsden. Omarion Hampton, speaking of rookies, it was incredible. His burst to the outside. The Chargers understand what they need to do, and that's beat the Houston Texans on Saturday and then go into Denver and beat the Broncos to get not only the division, but potentially even the number 1 seed in the AFC. And I know I've said this a couple of times on the channel, but if this is your guys' first time watching me, literally, I've never told this story, so I'll say it first. But what happened is, okay, so left tackle Rashawn Slater goes down, and I remember just kind of banging the table I'm on right now. I'm not going to do it now because it's going to hurt your guys' ears. I walked out of my house, and I was like, the Chargers, I mean, they're not going to be able to win the Super Bowl. It's difficult as it is to be able to win healthy, but now you're talking about the best left tackle in the game being out, and the Chargers start off 3-0, and then eventually Joe Alt gets injured, and I'm thinking, well, I mean, the Chargers, now they're without both their tackles. I mean, are you kidding me? And, Khalil Mack at one point ended up getting placed on the IR, and the Chargers, they're just derailed with injuries. But here they are, guys, with 11 wins in back-to-back seasons, with a chance to win out, control their own destiny, and to get this division. The Chiefs, of course, were eliminated from playoff contention by the Chargers. I've been covering this team since 2022, which wasn't that long ago, but it's long enough to know that the Chiefs have had our number. And I've been waiting for this to happen. Of course, I didn't want it to be at the expense of Patrick Mahomes with a serious injury. I mean, I would never wish that upon anyone, even as much as I dislike the Chiefs. Of course not. But still, I mean, the Chargers, they've done it, man. But they have to continue to keep their foot on the gas. Because last season, the Chargers were in a similar situation. They went into the playoffs with 11 wins. They went to Houston. They were favorited. And they just didn't get it done. The defense played lights out, but Justin Herbert played poorly. There were some drops that didn't go his way. But now we're starting to see Herbert play with a different level of intensity. I get Justin Herbert's had good seasons. I mean, I don't even think this is Herbert's best season. Well, here's the crazy thing is Herbert is probably playing the best quarterback in football, yet this isn't even the best he's played. Like last season, I thought was Herbert's best because he didn't turn the ball over and he didn't really have much to work with. I mean, it was Ladd McConkey and essentially a dream to that point. So there's more talent around him, but given like both your tackles out and even the interior has been in and out of lineup, so I don't know, man. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that. I wish I had you guys like talk to me live so we can kind of go over that. But just with my own thoughts, I will say that I do think the best is yet to come. And like Herbert has been incredible. And if you don't really watch the Chargers and you just turn this game on, I mean, you'd be like, wait, this is possible? Unless you're watching Lamar hasn't even played well this season, but like Josh Allen again, like unless you're watching Drake May, like unless you're watching those guys every single Sunday, I mean, this is going to look like something out of a video game what Justin Herbert does every single week. But we're still waiting to see it be done against the Houston Texans and then go to Denver. I mean, last season the Chargers swept the Broncos. They beat them early on in the season, but it's basically with a huge stake at the line. Like, could you imagine the Chargers getting an extra week of rest in preparation? I mean, that would be absolutely potentially season altering. I mean, if the Chargers do that, like that could be the difference between them winning and losing the Super Bowl, if I'm being honest with you. Like if anyone needs that, it's going to be the Chargers. But also, they don't really need that. Like this team, they've impressed me over and time again. And whenever I count them, my mic unplugged. Sorry about that. But whenever I count them out, that's when they seem to be at their best. And I've kind of stopped having that mindset because this team has proven it to me again and again and again that whenever I think they're out of it, they just get better and better. And that's what Derwin James, at least in my opinion, was trying to say, is that it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. All that matters is the guys in this locker room and the fans. And we've grown to, of course, be hesitant to trust the Chargers in a big moment, but we're starting to get more open to it. And the reason is the defense, of course, the culture that head coach Jim Harbaugh has built, and then Justin Herbert just getting it done with both his arms and his legs. And at this point, I mean, Herbert has 2 screws in his left hand, and he's playing with a glove on, and it's just wild to see what Herbert has become. Because when I first started covering the NFL, I don't even remember when it exactly was. I mean, I think it was 2022. So again, it was like a few years ago to this point. But Justin Herbert immediately was the guy that I watch every single Sunday. And you guys probably don't know this, but I'm not from San Diego. I'm not from California or Los Angeles. I'm from the East Coast, a small town of 4,000 people. So I started watching the Chargers and Herbert, and then I created my first ever NFL channel called Thunder Alley. I actually got the name idea from someone in the comments. I'm going to have to go and pull that comment up, and the rest is kind of history. So yeah, this channel means a lot to me, man. I mean, not that I make that much money from it. I did get actually offered a job at a college to cover the Chargers, and I ended up not taking it, and I don't know, maybe I kind of regret it, maybe I don't. I mean, I still make these videos and stuff like that, but yeah, I mean, ultimately I do want to be bigger in the Charger community, but again, it's not even about me, it's not about that, it's just about this team playing high-level football, because at the end of the day, that's what I want. Like, I want the Chargers to win, I want them to get a Super Bowl, I want them to, it's not even about proving people wrong, right? All that matters is just this team and winning a Super Bowl, because I've covered the Chargers every single day since 2022. I think it was February, like mid-February, something like that. And I've watched the practices, the media availabilities, the preseason games, like everything Chargers I'm there for. And it would definitely mean a lot to me to see this team be able to get it done. I mean, obviously I'm not in the weight room and watching every single film breakdown and things like that. Like, I'm not working like the Chargers are. But just the amount of time and investment put into this team, of course, you want to see them be able to get to where they get to. But even given what they've gone through and where they've gotten now, a chance to even win the conference, a chance to even win the division, like that kind of shows what this team is doing. But the thing is almost only counts in horseshoes. And almost, I mean, that's not going to be good enough for the Chargers. And for the fans, I mean, yeah, it's definitely special, but they have to be able to get over the hump, and that's going to be Houston. Because, and I'll end it on this, the Chargers, they went into Duval, they got their asses handed to them. That was the first time they had been there since the epic collapse in the second half. And then the Texans game, they beat us, of course, in the wild card, and they're coming to LA this time. But as we know, the Chargers don't have a good home field advantage. It's not their fault, but like home field doesn't even really matter for the Chargers. At least you don't have to go to another team's place. But I think Charger fans will actually, I take that back. I think home field will matter in the playoffs. I think Charger fans will be absolutely amped up and ready to go. But they do have to do something about like opposing teams, like Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos. Like, there's just way too many opposing fans there. And I don't know if it's legal, but they should just try to be careful who they sell tickets to. I get money's money, and I don't know if the owner even cares about that, but I just want to see the Chargers get home field, and I want to see it just full of Charger fans and be loud, and that would be cool to me. That'd be super cool to me. But